your friends from Craigslist.
Woo! Ooh, that was fire! Yeah!
What's up, podcast? Welcome to another episode of Friends from Craigslist, episode 17. What's up? Please be sure to continue and rate and review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen. You can check us out on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. All the links are in the description below. And we have a very, very special guest today. It's just so happened to be episode 17, and this gentleman was born on the 17th.
We'll be sure to put his address in the link so you guys can send him birthday presents on September 17th for episode 17. So just remember that.
And I just had a feeling. Because, all right, you know when you meet somebody and, like, you have a feeling that this person's just, like, a generally, like, overall just, like, a nice guy. You know, like it's not your time to talk yet. But you know that this guy is just like an overall, like, you can like walk into a room and you say hi to somebody and you're just like, man, this is just like, you can tell he's cool and you can tell he's just like a sweet guy. And that being said, I knew he was going to have a baby face, so I shaved for him so he wouldn't feel alone. Ladies and gentlemen, Shellboogie. All right. What up?
Yes.
What's going on, man?
Definitely.
How you doing? Thank you for being here. I appreciate it.
Of course. It's an honor to be in here.
Oh,
I'm doing good. I'm Shellboogie. That's my little stage rap name that you can call me.
Dude, do you
or
like
you
to
call me Sheldon?
Yeah, what do you prefer? Because you look like a Shellboogie.
Well, you could call me Shellboogie. None of them bother me. So honestly, Shellboogie.
Where did it come from? I mean, obviously Sheldon, but like who started it?
All right, so the thing is, there's an A-Boogie, right? A rapper, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I feel like I had it way before him because, all right, so there was this thing where we all dance, right? And it's called Getting Light. And that was like this old
you know he's
old,
Travis's brother, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
the viewers don't know.
Yeah.
This is Travis's Trav
Right.
One Time
Yeah.
brother. That's why
Yes,
we have
Trav
two
One Time.
good-looking gentlemen pretty close back to back because they're born from the same place. Anyway,
Yes.
please continue. I'm sorry.
So, nah, you're all good. So, back then, we used to get light, and that was my name when I used to dance. So, Travis, it was Trav One Time, hey, Trav One Time, right? And mine was Shellboogie, Shellboogie. And then, I used to dance in the corner or in the circle. And yeah, that's what it was. So that's how it all originated and all. So yeah, I just feel like I had it first. He just blew up faster.
I like it.
So who got called first? Trav One Time or Shellboogie? Which happened first?
It was Trav One Time. And
All right.
yeah.
Okay.
All right.
That's fine. We won't, it's okay. So you kind of started off already, but if you don't mind, just tell the people where you're from, what you do, just your whole deal.
All right, so I'm from New York, Bronx, New York, and what I do, I'm basically Travis' manager at this point. Like, me and him do every video together, every song together, everything together. So for his YouTube, we do all his videos together. We record them. Either we're gonna make a gameplay together, or it's gonna be a regular skit or something like that. We plan it, make a script, and we all just run through it, go through it, and yeah, that's how it starts. That's for like YouTube. And for music-wise, me and my brother we just come together. First, we started on like some rap chat app, and that's where we rapped on. And so we rapped there for a little bit, and after that, we was just like, we need to get to a studio. And so Travis was like, let me call up some old friends and just see what's going on. So he's calling up a couple friends, and he was like, we got to go to the studio and see what's going on. And the first time I went to the studio, I was so nervous. I was so excited, but I didn't know what to do because I'm like, I've never been to the studio before. So like, let's see how it is. And we made our first song, Official, and put up on YouTube.
What was it? What's the name?
The first song that we did in the studio was Too Saucy. I think it was Too Saucy. Yeah, Too Saucy.
Right. You look like a pretty saucy guy.
Yeah, I'm a little bit. I got a little sauce to it, some juice added to it. But yeah, that first song we made it. our YouTube channel. We throw it up on YouTube channel. We had it as the intro. Then we had a different ending. So we just, after that, kept grinding up, making more music. And just, it hasn't stopped now. It's been like a year or two now.
That's awesome. So what's so far the craziest experience you guys have had trying to produce and run and do your own shit? Like, that's unreal doing all that.
Honestly, the hardest part about it was just the consistency. Because, you know, sometimes you get discouraged because, you know, you don't have such a big fan base. But, like, I just always go up to Trav, like, come on, we got this. Like, we gonna get big. Like, we need to get big. This is, like, mandatory. Like, it's gonna happen. Like, it's too funny to not let it happen. You know what I mean? Like, so I was like, you got to keep your head up. You got to keep pushing videos, keep making more music. And sooner or later, we're going to get up there. So that's just been the big motivation.
See, dude, that everyone needs a brother like you. I'm just saying, because, dude, and Grace can attest to this too. Like, man, it's so freaking hard in this game, you know? And like, whether you want to do it, you know, professionally, or you kind of just doing it just to, you know, put your stuff out there and see what happens. Like, it's so hard and so discouraging. So, like, you know, going back to just an overall nice, good
that's
guy.
that's
like,
facts. Like,
that's what you need.
Travis came up to me like, "Oh, should I just like stop with YouTube?" I'm like, "Don't ever, don't ever stop. Like, we're too good for YouTube. Like, you can do it."
Dude, that's amazing. I don't know what happened. Yeah. Oh, we're back. Sorry, that's that RCN Wi-Fi life. What up? Should have got Verizon. Ding ding. Yo, that's dope. So I wanted to know, because I know, like you said, you manage the life basically, right? Because when we met for the first time, I was doing Travis's podcast or vlog maybe, just on his YouTube channel, and you were doing pretty much everything, right? You had like the camera locked down, you had lighting, you are like every creative's dream partner. So did you ever, or do you still want to do your own YouTube thing, or like the thing with you and Travis where like y'all play off of each other and everything? Like, do you enjoy the YouTube stuff more, or like the whole behind the scenes setting up, knowing everything kind of thing?
It's mostly the behind the scenes. Like, it's just so fun being a part of it. It's like, I would do it myself, but like, it might be a little overwhelming having him being my wingman and me being his wingman, but it still would be fun either way. So honestly, I just loved being around the background and just waiting for that video to come up and we premiere it for that next music video or something. And I just love it. Honestly, I love being behind the camera or even in front of it, you know? So it's just really fun. I love it. Yeah. It's good.
Dude, well, you should be in front of the camera more. I'll tell you that. Right? Are you a single guy? Single guy?
No.
No? All right, fuck it. Stay behind the camera.
You guys can't.
It's fine.
Yeah, I'll stay behind the camera.
You're fine. I was going to say it would really help, you know, in that area. Like, this is that's hard shit, because when I started in the pandemic, I've always tried to do my own music, because, and I even why I'm doing this podcast with Grace, because one, I wouldn't do it with anyone else, because we're like best friends, number one. And also, I don't want to ever have to rely on someone else. Like, I want to know that me and her can do this. We're not going to drag each other down, right? Much like you and Trav. Like, you guys don't drag each other down. But, like, for my music stuff, not saying people drag me down, but, like, if I want to record a song, I want to be able to do it on my own. So I went and I learned Logic. I learned all this stuff. How did you learn everything?
Honestly, it was because, so as me and Trav started, it was more like, it was only us. It was mostly us and our family. So it was like, if our family's not going to help us, it's just me and him. So I made sure I knew everything I could, so that if he needed me, I was always there. And if I needed him, he was always going to be there for what video we were going to make. So even for like skits and stuff like that, me and him went out, Party City, bought some like Mario hats or something. And like,
dude, he showed us the fanny pack. He showed us the fanny pack.
Yeah. That's some new merch that he has coming up. We got sweaters. We got a whole bunch of stuff. Those are good. Got mugs and all.
So if there was one video or music or song, whatever, that was the one that took off, which like would you be so stoked that it was like this one?
Honestly, we got a lot of good comments. So I don't.
You have a favorite, like that's the one that you're like, that's gonna skyrocket it. That's gonna be the one.
I think we got one in progress right now that we think really is gonna go up there because we working really hard on these. We got a couple of them. Even with Matt too, I've heard a couple of those that I think is gonna skyrocket. So I'm really excited for those.
Yo,
I can't wait till they drop and I can just listen anywhere. It's gonna be perfect.
well, I'm curious. So you guys are much better at YouTube than I am, or we are. Because we do the podcast, we throw it up, we throw some clips up. Like what we think is cool, what we think is important, and we mostly do the podcast audio and social media. But like, as far as like the work that goes in, right? Because there's different work that goes into making an album. There's different work that goes into marketing a brand. There's different work that goes into everything. What's the work, or is it different making like a video for YouTube and putting that kind of work in? Is it any different, and like how so? Because is there like, do you have to think, oh, I need them to watch the whole thing, so I need to make it interesting the whole time, or I need them to get to like 2 minutes, or like how do I get them longer? Is that a thought that when you guys do videos like gaming videos or something?
Yeah, honestly, if we think about so many things when it comes to making videos, it's like it's different for each video, so it's even more thinking.
Yeah.
It's like if it's a gaming video, we got to make sure every sound in the background is quiet so they can hear the game and myself, and then make sure the video is good for the like face cam. Then for like a reaction video or something, it's easy for those. You could just put the clip up, our faces, and then our actual reaction of it. And so comparing it to music, it's completely different. It's a whole different ball game. I think music would be a little bit more complicated, but like with YouTube, editing and all that other stuff, that's also complicated too. And it's like to grab everybody's attention and keep it funny, we try to do a lot of things like throw a meme in there or a legit funny part would literally come up like in the video of us doing something stupid or something. So with music, it's like you really gotta like stare at it and focus and redo your verses and a whole bunch of stuff. Think of hooks, listen to beats, write down some more stuff. So yeah, it's a lot of work. It's
But
so fun.
you also rap / sing / do the whole music thing.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah, you're right.
Where does that fit in? Is that like, was that the OG passion, or was that afterwards and you were like, oh, I kind of like this, and you started to write? Like, how did that work its way in?
It's actually, that's how we kind of started. At first, my brother was always like, that was his dream, like to always have a YouTube channel and always wanted to skyrocket and get big. But from what I remember, it's always been us dancing and then freestyling. And then it came to YouTube. So it was always us dancing. And then when we came to freestyling, we was like, yo, we kind of good at this. Like, we could get better. So we started recording ourselves doing it and stuff like that. And so it just skyrocketed from there with the rapping. We just rapped together, freestyled, and then we worked on trying to get better because it was like we rapped about like stupid things, you know what I mean? And it wasn't like actual real things that could really be put together and put nice. So we was like, we need to get better. So we're going to work together and get better at this. And then also pick up on YouTube, what you always wanted to do, and get that through because our family is so funny. It's like we do so many stupid things or have so many funny jokes. It's like we need to share it with the world. You know what I mean? Like I want to see somebody else laugh at my video or listen to my song and be like, yo, this is fire. Did you hear that line that Shellboogie said? Or did you hear that line that Tom said? Like that's always been a big dream of ours. So we definitely worked really, really hard. Really hard.
Dude,
So how much, like, what's your day-to-day, like, like, your Monday through Sunday, like, what is your life, day in the life of a manager?
Honestly, I got a lot of things going on because I'm only 19. So I'm still in college. So I got my college life, and then I take care of Trav's kids sometimes. So I'm all over it. So I'm like college. And whenever I have free time, I'm like, fam, Then when I have even more free time, I'm at the studio. So it's like, it's not bad, honestly. I organized it in a really well way. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. That goes all the way. I feel like a lot of times on our podcast, we go back to the hustle. Like that's what it comes down to. And if you're not the definition of hustle right there, where you're just like, oh, I'm doing managing, and we've talked about it for about 10 minutes, 20 minutes, and all the things that go into the editing and the prepping, and then you're like, oh yeah, and I'm 19 and I'm in college and I watch Trash Kids, and when I do have free time, of course, family's next, and then after all those, I might get some recording time if after all that. Like that's the order we get it done.
And if I'm lucky, I get to sleep. At the end of the day, we do talk about hustle all the time and hustling harder than the next guy. And I think that's absolutely amazing, as you should, as you need to. But then at the end of the day, like, and I'm sure you've seen this too. It's like, man, you can't forget what's really important. And that's like family,
right?
Spending time with the people that love you and you love, I feel like a lot of times, and I'm sure you've met people like this too, people forget about that shit.
Yeah, that's facts. That's so.
Yeah.
And like I even not that like I don't ever forget about my family. It's next to impossible to forget about your family. But like, dude, there are days like, and tell me if you've had this too, where it just gets dark sometimes because you're a really positive cat. So like, I don't know if this applies to you because, bro, every time you smile on this podcast, it makes me happy. But like,
and that brings down the podcast every week. Matt goes dark every week when we don't have anybody on. He's like, screw this. The world hates me. All this sort of thing. Like,
there are those days where you just like things aren't working out, and it makes you, go down the rabbit hole a little bit. But then you have to also realize, and maybe you don't feel accomplished in a way, but then you realize, man, I got a really good family and a great life, and you have an awesome brother. And
yeah, I definitely agree with you. It happens to me too, honestly. Like even with like YouTube, like we're just like, I have no idea like what we should like for a music video or like for even like an idea for like a video. Like I have no idea what I should do, or should we bring this back, or and it sometimes brings us to like maybe we shouldn't do this anymore. Like we don't have any good ideas, and we all get to dark places sometimes, especially when it comes to YouTube and music, because it's like, oh, I haven't been to the studio in so long, like maybe I should just forget about it. Like, but no, sometimes you really gotta like get with it and work with it and grind. Like you really gotta just work hard.
I wanted to ask you before I forget. You know how Instagram right now is doing the whole, like, you can hide likes or hide views or something? Have you seen this too, Grace? Like, you can hide, how many people like your photo or something. I want to know your views on that, because as a YouTube guy, or anyone that's trying to do what you guys do, it's like you rely and almost like a self like affirmation on like likes and views, right? Like if my video got like 5 views, hurts your heart. If it got 50,000 views, it's like, oh, this is cool, So like, I want to know your view on if YouTube was to ever hide the views, would that make it better? And how much do you dwell on the view count?
Honestly, for the view counts, it's not always much, but I try not to let it discourage me and Trav. Like, just like, no matter what views, no matter who's watching, we still got to keep grinding. But we do definitely see when people watch it and it's like a lot of views and we get a little excited. But, we try to keep it at like, if a lot of people's not watching, it's fine. We're going to be good. But if YouTube ever decides to hide it, I think I'd really be discouraged. Like, I don't know how many views is there. Like, who even really watched it? Like, I'd be a little disappointed with that, especially with the like button too, because that's all we say. Like, subscribe, watch this, and stuff like that. So it's like, they really did that. I'd really be disappointed with YouTube.
I know it's interesting too, because at least on the Instagram side, I don't know that much about it, but I think, they took it off so people wouldn't feel so discouraged to post things, I guess, right? Because they're not concerned, how many likes I get. But then it's interesting that you say you would be discouraged because I understand. I understand because it is.
Well, now with everybody making money off of being influencers and that kind of stuff, that goes out the window real quick. All of a sudden, you have no idea. And then both, for me, I don't know, should I be following Matt Berman? Like, I don't know who this guy is. I can't tell if he's famous or not.
Right.
But, like, to your point, how do you know what content then to put out there that's going to appease crowds and get the recognition? Like,
right.
I don't think it can ever go away. They're trying to solve this issue where it's, bad. Like, everyone only wants to look good now because that's what's famous out there. And it's, positivity and inclusion, but it's how you make money. It's the economy now.
Yeah.
It's currency. Likes and shares are currency. Like, I don't think they can take that away.
Specifically pre-pandemic versus post, have you seen more people making YouTube channels?
I have seen more people make channels. Like, there's like TikToks and a whole bunch of things saying like, make a YouTube channel, throw up these things, throw up this thing. Like, people actually have been doing it, and it's like you can make 12K or this much, and it's like I don't think they really make it about the fun in it. They make it about the money. But I have seen a lot of YouTube channels come up with
it's not like
other things, but
it's not like the passion anymore. It's not like I want to make this because it's something that I love to talk about. It's more of I want to make this to see how much cash I can make. They just want to be the next Shellboogie, but they have no vision.
I mean, it's just like, that's what it is. Like, influencers don't want to do it to be good people. They want to do it to make money. Like,
right.
That's it. Everything's turned into a little more superficial these days. And it sucks because people like you and Trav who are making really funny, genuine, good content get put into this sea of a bunch of, bullshit out there just because someone spent more money on advertisements or more money on this and doesn't get the recognition it deserves.
Yeah, honestly, there's a lot of like people that are getting famous off of like the dumbest things, like, and it's
so dumb.
Like, as Matt said, for better or for worse, like, it could be from like, fighting or something, like, and they just get famous or something like that. Like the Catch Me Outside girl going on Dr. Phil. They literally took that whole thing and like did not even help with her issue. It was more of like hurt her issue and then made her get up there by like her making music and other stuff.
Grace, you've done it so well last time. Can I bother you to introduce this segment one more time?
This is our Lesbehonest section. The only reason Matt keeps me on is so he can say Lesbehonest and not get sued. So that's why we kind of keep
blanket statement. Everyone, Grace is a homosexual female. She is gay. Thank you.
Yeah, that's right. That's why we do it. But it's sort of like what really grinds your gears, what bugs you, what is the one thing that you're like, God damn, tourists in the city who stop because they got to take a picture of a bird. What's that one thing that really, whether it's something bugging you today or in life in general, that really just, let's be honest, tell us about it.
All right, first I wanted to say you were smart for letting her say it because you wouldn't be canceled.
Right. That's the whole reason he keeps me on.
But I have so many pet peeves, it's like insane. But I think the biggest one right now that relates is like Gen Z. Sadly, that I'm a part of it. But Gen Z, like the way they play things out and try to do things, it just makes no sense. Like it's put into place, and then they're like, nah, that shouldn't be there. But it was there, and that's where it was. Like, like you can't change that. Like I heard that they were trying to cancel Eminem.
We had a whole season, we had a whole episode on canceling Eminem because I was just so pissed off that they even went there.
I was about to bring that up, and I'm
are?
so happy that you brought it up. Because, yeah, like Gray said, we did a whole friggin' episode on it. And I think cancel culture comes from, unfortunately, your generation.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Not you. You're like...
No, and
it's nice because you actually are like
education. If you want to change stuff, do it on a positive note. They're making change so negative. It's canceling. Why are you canceling? Don't cancel things. Educate, grow.
There you go. Right. Educate. Work it out.
Yes. Where did it go? Where you could just go in the back and beat the shit out of each other, feel better about it, and then move on. No. Now there's all this crap that you have to go through, and there's no.
It's insane, honestly. As I said with the Eminem thing, I was just like, Eminem's been here too long to even get canceled. It's over. If it was somebody new, maybe you could cancel him, but even still, that's not even how you should go through with it. You know what I mean?
And you can't cancel Eminem because he's Eminem.
Right.
There's no way. I'm trying to be positive today. Shellboogie made me positive. If anyone's
a smile, it turns the weirdest things into a positive. But all right, we can go there.
If you're just listening to this, go ahead.
You're kind of right though, because we vlog all the time, but we only vlog interesting things. We don't ever vlog hey, I'm home. Hey, I'm playing video games. Hey, it's more of oh, we're gonna go to the studio. And we're going to let you get a sneak peek of this song or something. And it's
that's cool.
It's really cool.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I guess that's what I meant. I said it in a really roundabout way, but even normal people like us can do things like that. And I would find it interesting. Whereas, these people that are high and mighty on the YouTube influencer scale are just doing, silly things in my opinion. But, I appreciate you coming, and I appreciate you being here. I was having a day. I'll be honest. I was having a day, and I was getting a little sleepy. I was getting a little tired. I was getting a little bit down, and to see you guys on this, I know, but to see you guys and be with you guys on this podcast has been fantastic. Shellboogie, all your information about this gentleman is going to be in the description below. Is there anything that you want to plug right now, an upcoming project or something that's coming up?
We got some upcoming music coming. I'm going to send you the link for the merch because we need to get that. Everybody need to cop up on the merch.
Yes, they do.
Traveling Time, YouTube channel. Subscribe, follow, share. Definitely do all that. And you already have my Instagram at the bottom of the description. Yeah. So follow me. Message me if you want to do some work together, if you have some interest, anything like that.
This is a talented guy. And plus, he's got really good Instagram stories, literally every day. And I see you pop up, and I'm like, oh, it's going to be good.
I'm not done. I also wanted to say, happy birthday to Matt.
Yo, thank you.
It's your birthday.
Thank you. I'm having, it's a good birthday. I can't believe I'm 30. I was talking to your brother. I was talking to your brother about this morning, and then we went down this whole rabbit hole, and then we're like, all right, let's do the music video for the new track. So it's positive, but thank you, bro. I appreciate you again. Thank you for being here, and we'll talk to you soon. You're coming back. You have no choice.
All right.
Sure.
Definitely.
Even if we get off this call and you're like, nah, bro, that was terrible. You're coming back. You have no choice.
No, it was actually fun. It's really fun. It was really fun, yeah.
All right, man. Awesome. Thank you for being here. And I'll talk to y'all soon.